Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Women Locked Up Before and After. I have some very good news before I start this. I haven't been able to go live because I went live and I was recording my screen, and on an accident it picked up the video that was in the background and it banned me. I'm gonna try to fight it, but right now I got a really good thing for y'all today. Really good. I'm serious now. Um, but I gotta tell you the good news first. I finally got my apartment. Here is the thing from the light company. I'm so happy, y'all. Here's my lease thing. Um, 911 thing. And most importantly, keys. 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 I finally got my apartment. Finally. And she helped me. I didn't have enough to pay for it, and she literally helped me. She's gonna work with me on the deposit. And she even gave me these things right here that goes to, I guess goes on top of, or goes on the key or something. I don't know. Anyway, I got my apartment, y'all. I'm not there yet, but um, I will be. The power's already on over there and everything, but I need help really bad. So I'm gonna put my description in the link below, and I'm gonna hope and pray that somebody out there has the heart to be able to help me get the things I need for this apartment, because all I'm gonna have is a recliner, a bed, a table, and a TV. That's all I'm gonna have, and I really need some things, dishes and dish drainer, stuff like that. Anyway, just want to let y'all know the good news right now. So, anyway, I'm sorry I messed up, y'all. I said a while ago, I put my description at the bottom of the link. I meant I'm gonna put my PayPal information in the description in the link below. So please check that out. If you or anybody else, or even if you want to share this and know somebody that can help me out. It's a new beginning, y'all. So just everything's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be back with my daughter. Hopefully, at least we'll be able to spend time together first. Get everything straight with that, because I have not got to spend time alone with my daughter since before I went to prison the second time. So this is a really big thing for me. Um, okay, but anyway, that's it with that, and let's get on with this because this is really very interesting. So let's go. Now, what we're on here for today, I got something. You're gonna have to stick around for this one. I'm telling you, you're gonna miss out if you don't. Inside a private prison, blood, suicide, and poorly paid guards. And this prison right here is in my state, or not my state, you know what I mean. But it is at the third prison in the state of Mississippi. There's only three here. All three of them hold male inmates. Two of them only male. The other one was where I was at, and they held male and female, but no interaction, of course. But well, at least on certain people's terms. You know how that goes, anyway. But I'm gonna show you a little something before we get started, and it's gonna be shocking. Watch this. Really? You seen how they moved the camera around, zoomed it in, out? They watched the whole thing, didn't even come in till they got done. They don't care. That's how our justice system is. We see videos about this all the time. All of our prison channels on YouTube, we all talk about the same thing that happens in these prisons. What do they do about it? Nothing. Jackson, Mississippi. On the witness stand and under pressure, Frank Shaw, the warden of the East Mississippi Correctional Facility, which you just saw, could not guarantee that the prison was capable of performing its most basic function. Asked if the guards were supposed to keep inmates in their cells, he said wearily, "They do their best." According to evidence and testimony at a federal civil rights trial, far more worse things were happening at that prison than inmates strolling around during a lockdown. Listen to this. A mentally ill man on suicide watch hung himself. Gang members were allowed to beat other prisoners, and those whose cries for medical attention were ignored resorted to setting fires in their cells. So many shackled men have recounted instances I can't even say that word, I'm sorry, instances of extraordinary violence and neglect in the prison that the judge had complained of exhaustion. The case, which has received little attention beyond the local news media, provides a rare glimpse into the cloistered world of privately operated prisons at a time when the number of state inmates in private facilities is increasing, and the Trump administration has indicated that it will expand their use. Anyway, Management and Training Corporation, the private company that runs the East Mississippi facility near Meridian in Lauderdale County, already operates 2 federal prisons and more than 20 facilities around the nation. That's what it shows on the map. Where we're at right now, where I am, is right there, the corner right there. But that's where I was at down here, past that right there. There, yeah, you see it. Anyway, the use of private prisons has long been contentious. A 2016 Justice Department report found that they were more violent than government-run institutions for inmates and guards alike, and the Obama administration sought to phase out their use on federal level. Early last year, President Trump's Attorney General Jeff Sessions reversed the ban. Several states, including Michigan and Utah, have stopped using private prisons in recent years because of security problems. Ooh, that one looks bad. You gotta see this. It's not gonna let me. Oh, yeah, it will. That looks terrible. Look at that place. That looks like it's condemned or something. That's the same. That's East Mississippi Correctional Facility. It says right here in the photo. Okay, well, let me zoom back in. Zoom back in. Okay, it's not zooming back in. Okay. Okay. Got back on that. Sorry, it froze. But anyway, underneath that picture, it says the court was shown photos of cell doors at the East Mississippi Correctional Facility that were scorched by fire. Now, there's still people in those. Not like, I mean, they're in there now, but anyway. But more than 24 other states, including Mississippi, contract with privately managed prison companies as a way to reduce cost. Prison prisons are usually among most expensive budget items for states. They always say that. And they keep locking everybody up, but yet it's such a big problem with the budget thing. Oh, I hated to hear that, especially when I was locked up. It says, since 2000, the number of people housed in privately operated prisons in the nation has increased by 45%, while the total number of prisoners has risen by only about 10%, according to an analysis by the Sentencing Project. Let me check that out. The genesis of the problems at East Mississippi, according to prisoner advocates, is that the state requires private prisons to operate at 10% lower cost than state-run facilities. Even at its state-run institutions, Mississippi spends significantly. I always get these long words. Significantly. You know what I'm trying to say. Significant. Really. Lord, if I have to say it more than 10 times, I'm just going to not even say it at all. Anyway, that word, less on prisoners than most states, a fact that state officials once boasted about. The federal civil rights, listen to me, civil rights lawsuit filed against the state by the American Civil Liberties Union and Southern Poverty Law Center, after years of complaints from inmates, seeks to force wholesale changes at the prison. Testimony has described dangerous conditions, confused lines of oversight, and difficulty in attracting and retaining qualified staff. Security staff at East Mississippi earn even less than the $12 an hour starting wage made by their public service counterparts, and private prison guards receive only 3 weeks of training, less than half the training time required of state prison guards. The state's contract with Management and Training Corporation is particularly economical. Mississippi pays the company just $26 a day, or about $9,500 a year, for each minimum security inmate. That is far less than $15,000 a year neighboring Alabama spends per inmate, and only 13% of what New York spends, more than any other state pays per inmate. Called as an expert witness for the Mississippi inmates, Eldon Bale, the former state prisons chief in Washington State, told the court that the focus on cutting costs had sent East Mississippi into a downward spiral. There are not a sufficient number of correctional officers, and most of their problems stem from that issue, he said. Oh my God. It says a photo introduced in evidence at the civil rights trial shown blood on the floor of a cell at the East Mississippi prison. That looks really bad. This thing's mirrored. Mr. Bell said that with too few guards to maintain order, inmates felt compelled to protect themselves with crudely made knives and other weapons, prompting a chain of retaliation. That word, the R word, violence. Just the violence, period. We already know about the violence already, but I mean, it's really bad. And it's just getting worse. And having too few doctors and nurses meant that inmates with mental illnesses were also more likely to act out violently. Lawyers for the state representatives of Management and Training say prisons are meant to be tough environments, and that East Mississippi is no worse than most others. We can say that the facility is safe, secure, clean, and well run. Wow. I like to hear some opinions from anybody who's been in these prisons. And I know one that's actually subscribed to me that might actually say something about that. Okay, from the warden on down, our staff are trained to treat the men in our care with dignity and respect. Yeah, they have their own respect, but they don't treat the inmates with the same thing they treat the guards with. Anyway, from the warden down, our staff are trained. Our mission is to help these men make choices in prison after they're released that will lead to a new and successful life in society. Going to prison does not help anybody. It might get you out of a spot that you was in before. I mean, like, I can't say, yeah, the first time I went 3 times. Of course, if you read my story and everything, 3 times, yeah. Okay, well, the first time I went, I felt like, yeah, I could say it got me from going worse than what I was. I mean, kept me from going worse downhill or whatever. But other than that, every time I went back, it was worse. The prison was worse and worse every time I went back. That place is nothing but a place to learn how to be a drug dealer, learn how to make drugs, learn how to take drugs, learn how to try new drugs. It's just a bunch of bull. Trial testimony has presented a radically different picture. Mr. Shaw, the warden, who works for management and training, not for the state, receives incentives for staying within budget, but is not penalized when inmates die under questionable circumstances or when fires damage the prison. 4 prisoners have died this year. The warden said that he had been unaware of the cases in which inmates had been so badly beaten that they required hospitalization, and that he had not disciplined guards who failed to ensure that inmates were unable to jam doors and leave their cells. Mr. Shaw was asked about variety of homemade objects to use to commit assaults at the prison. He was dismissive. Inmates have weapons, he said. It's a fact. Not all of them. I didn't have one, but I should have there for a little while. But no, I didn't want to get caught with no weapon for no reason whatsoever, because that's a right up out of this world. But I mean, I could say in some cases I would see why you would need one. Anyway, I knew what to do if something happened. But anyway, a scathing state report determined the riot was There was a riot in 2015. The state report determined that the riot was sparked by management and training's culture of disorganization, disengagement, and disregard of policies, fundamental inmate management, and security principles. At East Mississippi, the prison designated by the state to hold mentally ill inmates, there was a glaring lack of oversight of inmate care. According to testimony, 4 out of 5 inmates in the prison receive psychiatric medication, but the facility has not had a psychiatrist since November. The state prison mental health director is not a mental doctor, but a marriage and family therapist. And Gloria Perry, who became the prison system's chief medical officer in 2008, said that she had never been to the East Mississippi prison. Felicia, that's her name, Felicia, not Felicia, but Felicia. E. Hall. Not E. Hall, Ye Hall. Felicia E. Hall. So, the commissioner of the state prison system testified that she may have been unaware of some many problems at the facility because she did not read weekly performance reports from the state's own monitor. In the courtroom, the reports were delivered in person, and an inmate testified in tears that a female guard had mocked him when he tried to report being raped in a cell in January. The guard never informed her superiors about the rape. In a unrelated assault, surveillance video showed an inmate being beaten by other prisoners for 14 minutes before guards arrived. 14 minutes, y'all? Are you kidding me? Neither the state nor the private prison company has contested the accuracy of the prisoners' accounts heard in court, although lawyers for the state says the stories should be treated with skepticism. An inmate described another attack that occurred this year. He said a prison armed with a knife and a 4-foot section of pipe charged at him while he was being escorted to his cell by 2 guards. Instead of helping him, he said the 2 guards ran away. The inmate said he was chained at the ankles, waist, and wrist at the time. He estimated that the other prisoner assaulted him for 3 minutes before other guards arrived and pulled the attacker off of him. They laughed and told him not to do it again, the inmate said, adding that the same man had beaten him with a pipe the previous month. At the prison infirmary, he said the medical staff simply poured distilled water onto his puncture wounds and sent him back to his cell. I was in excruciating pain, he said. It was not until 3 days later, the inmate said, when there was blood covering much of the floor of his cell, that he was taken to a hospital. He was treated for 4 stab wounds and a broken leg. The inmate testified without giving his name, worried about retaliation from prisoners and guards alike. He said that whatever luck he had may soon run out. When he went back to prison from the hospital, he said on the stand he was placed in a cell next to that of his attacker. That's it on that. And I want to say one last thing to close this out. There's got to be something done. I know we've all said this. All these prison channels have said these things, and we mean it. And something's got to be done. This is crazy. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment, okay? Yeah, you see these child predators, whatever you want to call them, and you see them get really bad messed up in there, and that's not really good. That's bad, but most of them, are being put to death anyway. Like when it comes to something like that, everybody has their own opinions, and anybody can comment also below on what you think about anything in that I read. But I just feel that's just so messed up and crazy. There's so many things like that happen in all kinds of prisons all over the world, but everybody knows that in the United States is the worst, and the most incarcerated people on this earth is in the United States. We all know that, women and men, and it's getting to where women are getting worse than the men. But anyway, if y'all like this video, please like, and please ring that notification bell if you want to see more videos and hear more things and more stories. Y'all remember I got my apartment. Thank you God I got my apartment. And anyway, If y'all like this video and y'all want to see more stuff like this, let me know. I'm going to leave my PayPal link on the description below, so please read the description. Like I said, you don't have to do that. Nobody has to do anything like that. I don't even like to ask nobody for nothing. That's the type of person I am. I can't stand that. But I am taking donations, please, for getting everything I need for my apartment. I got everything. Like I said, I got my lease agreement. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about this. Where did my lease agreement go? Oh yeah, it's in the living room. Anyway, this is the thing from the 911 place. See the 911 address notification form? I'm not gonna... oh, that's the person who used to live here, so I'll just cover my name up. That's the date. The 25th day. And my name at the top. Well, why I'm not covering up, because I... Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching everything I got. So anyway, I appreciate everything you have done. You don't have to do anything. I just hope I can get help. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. And peace and love y'all. Bye.